Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Just a couple things before we get into the video. I'm sorry if I look crazy. I ended up having to refilm this video and the next video, and I woke up this morning and I do not feel good at all. So please excuse my crazy face. I'm swollen, my stomach hurts. It's just not a good day. I also want to thank everyone for the lovely comments and subscriptions and just the overall huge amount of support and love that I received in my introduction video. I can't even put into words how happy I am with all the love and support that I've been getting, and so I just want to thank everyone. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope that you stick around and that you enjoy the video. These first couple videos are probably going to be awkward just because I'm still kind of getting into the swing of things. But I'm excited for what's to come. So today's video is going to be an empties and review. I don't have very much, I think, but I have to throw my trash away. So let's get into the video. The first thing that I have is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundation. I'm in the color 215. I liked this foundation at first, maybe for the first couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks. The problem that I have with this foundation is that it oxidizes really bad after a couple of hours. It has a really pink undertone, so if your skin has any kind of yellow undertone, this foundation is going to show very pink. For that reason, I would not repurchase this, unfortunately. But if you have a pink undertone, this foundation lasted beautifully. It did not move, it did not budge, it lasted me 8+ hours. It just did not work for my skin's undertone. The next thing that I have is the EOS lip balm. Now my lip balm isn't actually done. There's still quite a lot of product left in here. The reason why this is getting thrown away is because I saw a post from a woman who opened up one of her lip balms and realized that there was mold growing in her lip balm. And so I opened mine just out of curiosity, and sure enough, around the lip balm and in the cap there's mold. And I already wasn't a fan of this lip balm to begin with. It's very slippery and I don't feel like it moisturizes my lips at all. But then to see that there's mold inside is disgusting. So this has got to go. The next thing that I have here is the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. This, in my opinion, is the best drugstore under eye setting powder. When you look at it inside of the container, don't be alarmed or put off. It looks like there's glitter in the powder, but it doesn't translate when you set your under eye concealer. It brightens, it stays, it doesn't make your under eyes look cakey. And it's like $3, and I believe that they sell it in almost all Targets, and you can buy it on the e.l.f. website. Amazing under eye concealer. I would definitely repurchase, and I've actually gone through, I think I've gone through about 3 of them so far. The next thing that I have is a sample size of the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. I love this mascara. I'm also a fan of the Lights Camera Flashes. It comes in a yellow container or a golden container. Most people aren't a fan of that mascara because it's only a lengthening mascara. I'm someone who likes a lengthening and a thickening mascara, and if one doesn't have like lengthening, or one doesn't have volumizing, I'll use another mascara. It doesn't bother me. But for lengthening, the Lights Camera Flashes is a really good mascara, and this one is an amazing one as well. I've had multiple of them, and I will definitely purchase the full size of this. The next thing that I have is the L'Oreal Youth Code Texture Perfector. This is a serum that you use in the morning before your makeup. It'll run you about $20, and for drugstore that's kind of on the higher end. However, this is the hands down best serum that I have found at the drugstore, and I'm actually really sad that it's gone. It's nice and thin but moisturizing. It doesn't interfere with your makeup. It doesn't break me out. It doesn't move my makeup. Like, that's a huge thing for me. I don't like moisturizers that make your makeup slide. And this one just sunk into the skin quickly and left my skin looking amazing and feeling soft. So I think it's worth the $20. If you buy a serum at, say, Sephora or Macy's or any of the higher end department stores, they're gonna run you well over probably $50. So for $20, this is an amazing alternative, and I would definitely be repurchasing that. Next item that I have is the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation, and I am in the color 425 Natural Tan. This was a very good foundation. I really liked it. It's about medium coverage, and I would suggest this for women with drier skin because it's a very dewy foundation. If you have oilier skin, you can, I think you can still pull it off. You're just going to have to make sure that you put a mattifying primer underneath and really set this foundation. Even for the drier skin women out there, this foundation doesn't set. It stays sticky and it stays tacky, and it gives you a very luminous look to your skin, so you're definitely going to have to set this or it's going to move. The only issue that I had with this is that it's $42, which is kind of expensive. But if you have the money to spare, I would suggest trying this. It's got a pump on it, which is awesome for foundations. I hate the ones that you have to pour out and tap, and it gets messy and you waste product. So I love any kind of foundation with a pump on it, and whenever I'm out of the current foundations that I'm using, I may actually repurchase this one. Now, a dupe for that foundation is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I am in the color W5 Sand Beige. The W just means I have a warm undertone. They have neutral and they have cool, which is awesome actually for a drugstore. You usually don't see too many lines or ranges with multiple undertones. Not everybody has just, you know, a pink or a yellow. There are many different skin undertones, and I really do like that about this. I actually like the entire Lumi line. I have another item in here. It's the Magic Lumi Concealer, and I also recently purchased the highlighters and illuminators. So for drier skin, this line is awesome. This foundation, it's very dewy, it's very luminous. With this one as well, you're definitely going to have to set it. It also stays very tacky and it does not set, so you want to make sure that you powder your face even if you have dry skin, because otherwise your foundation is going to move. But in comparison to the Bobbi Brown one, this foundation is only around $12, and you can find coupons. They're always having sales at like Walgreens or CVS or Rite Aid or whatnot, and I think this is a much better alternative to having to spend $42. But if you have the money to spare, they're both very good foundations. The next item is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Concealer and Corrector. Now, this wasn't a good concealer. It didn't conceal very well. It was very thin, and the coverage just wasn't great. I used this for highlighting, and it worked beautifully to highlight your under eyes. I would just use a regular concealer and then put this on top and then set it with the e.l.f. and your under eyes just are highlighted and beautiful. So for those purposes, I think this was an amazing product, and I would most certainly purchase this again. But if you're going to purchase it for the purposes of concealing, I wouldn't get this. The next item that I have, I'm actually really sad that I don't like, because this is probably my most favorite high-end brand of all time. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I've actually had multiple samples of this mascara, and I want to love it because everybody and their mother loves this mascara, but I just don't like it. I don't like it, and the reason why I don't like it is because I opened this mascara probably a week or two ago, and it is dry. It is dry as a bone. I tried to put it on the other day and I had flakes of mascara all down my face. And it's happened every single time that I've gotten one of these. So unfortunately, I'm one of the 1%ers who I just don't like it. The next items that I have are the NYX concealers. They're in these little, they're the color correcting concealers. You use them for the dark circles or dark marks on your face. As you can see, these aren't finished either. I actually did not like these at all, unfortunately. I love NYX, and I love probably 90% of things that NYX does or puts out. These were unfortunately very slippery, and when I went to put my foundation over it, it moved and it didn't conceal very great at all. So these just were a fail. Next thing that I have is another drugstore concealer. It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles. In my opinion, this is the best drugstore concealer. This and the highlighting one are the best drugstore concealers. They're about $9 at Walmart and Target, and I think they run like $12 at CVS and Walgreens. But you could always get a coupon that'll lower the price on that. They have a twist up mechanism here. The only thing I don't really like per se about this is this sponge tip applicator. It does stay wet the whole time, and I don't know, to me that just kind of grosses me out a little bit, but the product is so good that I just suck it up and use it. I've gone through probably about 3 of these, and this would be my first option, and then the Maybelline Fit Me concealer would be like a close second, but this concealer is amazing for covering dark circles and dark marks. The next thing that I have is the Model Co More Brows. I actually got this in an Ipsy box. It's a eyebrow gel, and it comes with a really tiny little brush tip, or a brush, and you comb it through your brows and it sets your brows in place. Now they gave me light medium, so it was just a little bit too light for me. However, the product was very good. It held my eyebrows down really well, and the brush was the perfect size. I don't know how much it runs for because I got it in a subscription box, but if I were to ever run across it, I would definitely repurchase it, or I would purchase it. Anastasia does one that's really raved about, Benefit does one, and NYX for the drugstore option does one, and they're all really good alternatives as well. The next item that I have is a travel size Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. This setting spray is amazing. It's like putting hairspray on your face. It will keep your makeup in place for hours. The only issue is that it is more on the expensive side. This small bottle of 1 ounce, 1 fluid ounce, cost me about $12. So, meh. I think it's worth the money, in my opinion, because it makes your makeup stay in place. Like if you have an important event like a wedding or graduation or anything along those lines when you need your makeup to stay all day, this is well worth the price tag. I know that L'Oreal has a makeup setting spray as well, and that runs about $14. So there's a drugstore alternative there, but I think the full size of this costs like $24. So for just a couple more dollars you could get this if you have the extra money to spare, but I've heard that the L'Oreal is actually a really good alternative to this as well. The next item that I have is the Sally Hansen Extreme Wear in the color White On. I use these nail polishes for nail art. Don't look at my nails. I just took my nail polish off. And I've gone through multiple of these. It's a very good formula. It's not too thick. It's not too gloopy. I've had this one for a couple years, probably like 3+ years, so it is gloopy now, but it takes a pretty long time to actually get to that stage. But I have this in multiple colors, and I've repurchased it multiple times. So the only one that pissed me off was their change in their Pacific Blue. I was actually able to find one randomly at the Next, and I started like jumping around in the middle of the store because I was so excited that I found the old formula, and everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. But if they knew how pretty the old formula is, they would understand why I was jumping in the middle of the store. But as far as the other colors that they haven't reformulated, those are all amazing. Unfortunately, I don't know who decided that the new formula was a good idea, but I won't be repurchasing those. But this one was really good. The next thing that I have is the Gilchrist and Somis body lotion, and I didn't really fancy this one. For me, this was a little too greasy and thin. I like for a body lotion to sink into the skin quickly, and I don't like to feel any residue or slip to my skin, and I don't like to have to like rub my skin for, you know, 15 hours just to get the lotion to sink in. So, and I really wasn't a fan of the smell either. It's kind of a manly smell, and I don't know, I just don't want my lotions to smell manly. Just my personal opinion. We're almost done. So the next thing that I have is another drugstore concealer. This is the Sonia Kashuk all covered up concealer, and I am in the color 03 Sand. As you can see, I didn't finish this one either. This concealer was very thick and did not blend well at all. It left my face looking cakey, and I would not suggest to put this under the eyes. For me, it just did not work. Like I said, I love Sonia Kashuk, but this just was one of the products that for me didn't really work very well. Potted concealers in the drugstore for me just don't work. They are either grainy or they are too thick, and it just doesn't, there's not a really good balance with potted concealers in the drugstore, in my opinion, so I would pass on this. Two more things. Another drugstore concealer that I did not like. Goodness, this should just be a whole video on drugstore concealers that I don't like. This is the L'Oreal Magic Anti-Redness, and it comes with a pump, which is actually pretty amazing. I would much prefer this on the Age Rewind than the foamy top thing, but again, this was very slippery, and the coverage on this wasn't good at all, and it made my foundation slip, and it made my under eyes look like actually green. It didn't blend well into my skin at all, so I would not repurchase this. And last but not least, it is the It's Potent Eye Cream from Benefit. This is just a sample size, but this eye cream was great. It was thick. I felt like it moisturized my under eye. I usually think that under eye creams are kind of gimmicky and that they are basically the same thing as moisturizer, but this one was really moisturizing for my under eyes. It didn't make my concealer slip or my foundation slip, and it sunk into the skin really well. I don't know that I would pay $32 for an under eye cream. I can't really justify spending that kind of money on a moisturizer just for my under eyes. So I don't know that I would repurchase this, but if you have the extra money to spare, this is really good. I think that's everything. So that was a whole lot more than I thought it was, and I'm sorry if this video is like 20 minutes long. Again, I just want to thank everyone for the wonderful support that I got and have been getting since opening my channel. I love you guys. Please comment, rate, and subscribe if you have not already. And if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. And if there's anything that I should try or that you would like to see in an upcoming video, please let me know. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.